Mark the 21st of this month on your calendars. For one day only, watch the world-famous Fighter 5 as they scream across the sky. Witness death-defying feats of flying in a display unlike anything you've ever seen, guaranteed to blow you away. Don't miss it!
I want to hear planes screaming across
Anne,
the sky.
I just got off the phone with Mom. She told me about Grandma Jo. I know we expected it sooner rather than later, but this is hitting me so much harder than when Granddad died last year. Do you remember going to Grandma Jo's house after school on Wednesdays and playing until Mom got off work? How Grandma Jo always had a surprise for us? Even if it was just cookies in the oven, she'd always time it so the whole house would smell like them when we got there. I hope the minister captures those little moments because they don't seem as little now. I wish the circumstances were different, but it will still be good to see you at the funeral. What am I saying? You probably won't even get this until after the funeral. I guess I just needed to write anyway. Love, Linda.
Aww.
So we need to focus on Linda,
Okay.
whatever her thing is. Poor Dan has been neglected, but that's okay.
Poor Dan. That is not what I meant to click on. Stop. Call Paul first thing tomorrow morning. Any possible way to move it? Is this thing announced yet?
Why do you put questions on your to-do list?
Hi, honey.
I'll never
Mom.
tell you.
Run. Wait, don't run.
Run! Hold on a second.
Run. Oh, that's an interesting outfit.
It's a space suit, you idiot. Have you ever been to space before?
No, and neither of you.
I'm a ghost. I've been everywhere.
I mean, apparently you can't travel unless you go into lamps.
Oh no, that's just so people don't see me.
People would see you in space.
There's no one in space.
Most of you here knew my
There's
grandmother.
the astronauts in space.
For those who didn't, I truly wish you had. She was an example for all of us. Her warmth, her caring, and her smile were impossible to forget. It's still hard for me to believe she's gone. Without her, the world is...
Oh
I
no.
hope she doesn't add the crying into her speech.
Sobs. On purpose. She's like, I scripted it out so I would cry. I'm no longer sad, but you know.
Forced tears.
Gotta cry. It's the shell. Flap. Gotta fly my way around.
Surprise, you're a bird.
Yeah, that's totally what I am.
Run. Faster.
Oh no. Joe's funeral's the same day as the signing in Eugene, and Paul says they can't move it. He'll understand if I bail because he knows Linda, but Grovefield is a different story. They won't give a damn why I missed it. They'll just get a memo and put it in a spreadsheet somewhere and write me off just a little bit more. And it's not just the timing. If I do the reading, I've got to get that chapter in shape. It's not even remotely ready for anyone to see it. Can't worry about what Paul says. He's my agent. He's supposed to stroke me.
That's weird.
Pet.
And what about Tommy?
What about Tume?
Yeah, what about Tommy? Gotta focus on your son.
It's a plane. It's bird. It's plane. It's oh hello. Tommy's so talented. Yes, he is.
I agree.
Into the light. Linted by the light. Find more clue.
Single clue.
Single clue. Linted by to light. Into to house. Keep it together for Tom Hay.
Steal her memory. Not steal. Borrow. Go.
I walked out to the bluff to remember Grandma Jo and say goodbye. And on the way back, I started thinking about what it really means to have a family, to make that your focus. She seemed to take such joy in being surrounded by her family, providing for them, taking care of them. I hope I never took that for granted. When I got back to the house, a question hit me that I can't get out of my head. What will Tommy think about Dan
He'll go,
and
wow,
me when he gets older?
they're getting old.
And what if Tommy has kids of his own?
All they care
I
about
can't
is
even begin
writing
to think
and
of
art.
myself as a grandmother. I haven't even been a mother for that long, and I'm still feeling my way through what it means to be a good one. At least I'll always have an example. I miss you, Grandma Jo, and I'll never forget you. I promise.
She should just read that as her speech.
No. Okay, we still need a Dan clue.
We always need Dan clues.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do his thing because we're gonna do Linda and
Okay,
Tommy.
cool.
Just neglect Dan. Who needs to focus on the novelist in a book
In a game.
called The Novelist?
Who needs to care about everyone in the family from time to time?
Not me.
He's clearly the one making the money for the family, but forget about that. We don't need to
What do you mean
care
clearly? Linda has a job.
About... Does she?
Yes, she has art job. Making all the money.
We just got back from the show, and I still don't know how I feel about it. The turnout was okay, and I did sell a piece. I learned a long time ago to never complain about selling anything, no matter how small, so that's good, no matter what. But part of me also feels like the glass was half empty. The promo was okay, but I think the abstract layout was a little too weird for the paper. I really should have gone with more text.
Blame that on
Then
Dan.
again, it was good of Dan to have helped with that part
It's all
at
just
all,
pictures.
so who knows how bad it would have been without
It's a
that.
little bit abstract.
I guess I was
just a
most
picture of a
excited
puppy
to
that has
see what
nothing to
kind
do
of
with the
feelings
art.
the show would bring back up, and it was just too half-hearted to know. Disappointment and excitement in equal parts. I still have some thinking to do.
Well, gotta find other Linda.
Linda?
Or Lisa. You never know.
That might have been the only Linda, but we'll make sure.
Oh no.
Sob, sob.
That's not good.
Did not mean to do that. Hey, Tommy.
That's not Tommy.
Hey,
Tommy doesn't have a mustache.
Yet.
He has a hidden one. He hides it in his pocket.
Takes it out in times of need.
No, it's just a hip mustache.
A hip mustache?
Yes.
What's wrong with it?
I've done nothing wrong. I don't know what you're talking
You have
about.
done many things wrong.
Why does it keep doing? Then it goes like...
Run, run, run. Land on the child. Aww.
Aww. Tommy, all alone in the tomb light. I am Indiana Johnny. La 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 la.
I'm very worried.
Don't be. He's Indiana Johnny. He got everything under control.
Sure.
Is she in heaven?
I'm sure she is.
Hello.
These are sad memories.
Well, yeah, the chapter's called The Funeral.
So do you want to help Tommy? Or Dan?
We should help Linda. And
Yes.
then compromise on Tommy. I don't
Cool.
know where the thing I need for Linda is, though.
What does she need?
Ticket? Something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's not a ticket.
She has to call someone and tell them to get a ticket. Or something like that. I don't remember. Do I look like I care about this family?
You care very much about everyone who isn't Dan.
That's mostly your fault. You're the one calling the shots around here.
From the desk of Harold Baxter, January 22nd, 1948. A final entry before I depart. The bank would no doubt prevent me from purchasing the house due to inherent conflict of interest, but given its history of frequent ownership changes, I feel confident the mortgage department will be glad to have the property off their hands. I believe I can set up a trust, or perhaps a shell company, and convince Mr. Lowry that we must part...
There's no shells around here. We gotta make a shell company.
And convince Mr. Lowry that we must part with the property for less than market value. I feel certain I can appeal to his conservative nature. I believe it will prove to be a shrewd investment as a rental property, and I think I now understand why people do not stay for extended periods. I find myself unable to describe the feeling precisely, but in my time here I have found my mind drifting in strange ways, as if it was not always my own. But the natural beauty is undeniable. Perhaps shorter visits are wiser use of this property. Yes, I believe that is a fine idea indeed.
Just patting your own back over here, huh?
Yeah.
Harold Baxter.
Patting your own
Baxter. We're soaring, flying. There's not a star in heaven that we can reach. No, there's not. Well, we're crying. Yeah, we're breaking free. We're breaking free. Okay.
So have you done child thing?
No, I'm gonna do that next. Okay. The Diary of Claire Bradford, September 4th, 1961. We're here, so why don't I feel more excited? This was supposed to be fun, just Roger and me. Mom and Dad think we're here with Ben and Lori, but of course that was just a trick. Nope, just Roger and me in this big house by the ocean for the whole week. I'm sad to see that there's no piano here, but I suppose a week without practice won't do me too much harm. I guess maybe being done with Roger that long is what's
Alone.
Alone.
I'm done with Roger.
Why am I here with him? I guess maybe being alone with Roger that long is what's making me feel nervous. Though why should that be? He's my fiancé. After all, if I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with him, I shouldn't be worried about spending the week with him, should I? Everyone has second thoughts before they get married, right?
You don't sound very confident.
Right!
This is normal, right?
Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba. Ba 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 da ba ba da ba ba.
Yeah.
Ba da ba ba da ba.
Gotta breathe in all the stuff.
Ba da ba 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 da ba 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 ba. Hey Dan. Dan couldn't bear the thought of Linda going to the funeral alone, so he bought a ticket and flew to Denver with her. The funeral was hard for Linda, but having Dan there made it easier to bear. They stayed up late the night of the funeral as Linda told Dan stories about Grandma Joe, and they talked of maybe being grandparents themselves one day. They're gonna force their son to have a kid.
Wow.
Dan sat Tommy down and did his best to explain why they couldn't go to the air show. Tommy had a crying fit. Dan eased the blow by promising to take him to the